You all know why we've come here. The patrons have pushed us into a corner. Their magic has grown too powerful to hold in check. These villains are stealing the worship of our own followers. We must do something before they marshal their forces, before they destroy us and all we stand for. We've come to the Vortex to destroy the world. Life will be better after the sundering. Our followers will live on in the new worlds of air, fire, stone, and water. Our enemies will be trapped in the labyrinth to contemplate their dark ways. And we will guide the new order into the future. Help me, my friends. Let us summon the world's seal and begin the process of healing. Together all of Earth's elements. As we sunder it, so do we sunder the world. Thus we begin a new age.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I'm Haplo. Who are you?
Why, I'm Cedra, head cook to the king. Greetings, Haplo. Now tell me, are you just some freeloader looking for a handout, or did you come in here looking for work? I've got no time to deal with the former, so I hope you plan on rolling up your sleeves.
Sure, I'll give it a try. What do you need me to do?
I'm glad to hear it. I'm so behind just now that I would welcome anyone's help, even from a human refugee. The king has decided to throw a party with his usual 2-hour notice. Get over to the counter and start kneading that dough. Let's see if you can handle that task before we move you on to anything more complicated. I'm worried about the children. I don't have a problem with them playing together, but the royal prince has begun to join in. There are human children in that group. You watch. Nothing good can come of that. No offense, you understand. Anyway, I've saved the worst for last. There's a human adult out there. He's talking with the children, putting all sorts of ideas in their heads, ideas about all of the races living together, treating each other as equals. Can you believe it? Rumor has it that he's a wizard. A child described some of his spells, and they're like nothing we've ever seen. In fact, the spells weren't even similar to any of those cast by the humans. Either this human is the most powerful to come along, or he's a member of a different race entirely. Wouldn't that be exciting?
Maybe the child was exaggerating. You know how imaginative they can be.
Of course, that's true. Those children can come up with some wild ideas. Still, it would have been exciting. It must be bug season again. Those terrible insects are such a bother. Every time I make something sweet, they show up, seemingly out of nowhere. On one occasion, I was actually stung by one of them. I was in bed for a week. These petals should do the trick of keeping them away today, but this is my last plant. I'm going to have to get the children to start harvesting the stinkweed again.
What was that bug?
Their hives appear during every harvest season. The insects that live in them usually leave us alone, unless they are angered, or they smell something sweet. That drives them crazy. I always keep some stinkweed around, just in case.
Why does the flower drive off the insect?
As much as the bugs are drawn to the sweet smells of my cooking, they are repulsed by the smell of stinkweed. Actually, stinkweed isn't all that bad until you crush the petals, but then you'd best be as far away from it as you can get.
Where do you find that yellow plant?
I'm not sure. The plant grows wild in bunches, but it's difficult to find. I have all the children out searching for it, and since I reward their finds with sweets, the plant is in high demand. Whenever it's discovered in the wild, the children return with as much as they can carry. They practically drool over that patch growing on the nearest tree, but no one can get to it.
May I have one of those cakes?
Absolutely not. I'm preparing these cakes for the king's party.
You mean it's going to smell like that in here all day? I think I'm done with this dough, you see? All nice and kneaded.
Well, you've done a pretty poor job on the dough, but I don't think I'm going to get much better out of you. Leave then. I don't blame you for wanting to get away from the stinkweed.
Is that your doll? What's her name?
If you can call it that. Her name is Ugly. It used to be Millie, but she had a hard life. She's not Millie anymore, just Ugly. Maybe I should call her No Fun, too.
But don't you love your doll?
Would you love a doll like this? It's just a collection of rags, but I don't have anything else to play with.
What game are you playing?
I'm playing Hop Around. Since my doll only has one leg, she can't walk, so she hops. Since she doesn't have a head, she can't see where she's going, so she bumps into everything. It's not a very fun game. She's not a very fun doll.
Do you always stare like that? It's creepy.
No, you're 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 creepy.
Not much of a talker, eh?
I'm not supposed to talk to strange men, and you're about as strange as they come.
Do you know anything about this human wizard the cook is talking about?
Yeah, he's fun. In fact, my friends and I are meeting him tonight in the secret place.
Could you show me where your secret place is?
Why should I show you? You're not my friend. You're just another big person.
Woogie moogie doogie.
I've never actually watched a human go insane. Somehow, I thought it would be less weird.
Ah, but you're talking to me.
Yeah, well, I'm not supposed to do a lot of things.
Well, aren't we a pretty little thing?
No, we are not a pretty little thing. How condescending can you get?
Stay out of my way, kid. I'm working.
Well, me and Ugly are working too, so you stay out of our way. You're nice. I like you. You have to meet my friends. Come on, let's go. I didn't think you'd ever get here. Come on, let's go. It's through here. These are my friends. That doorknob down there is the prince. I guess he finally got up enough courage to go after the golden staff. He's been talking about it long enough. It doesn't look like you made it very far, though.
Hello, sir. Could you help me off of this ledge, please? Don't tell anybody. My father would be so angry.
Who's your father?
I'm the royal prince. My father is the king. Don't think you can take me hostage, though. My father would find and kill you before he'd pay anything.
What makes you think your father could kill me?
He commands the elven army, including the wizards. No human would stand a chance against him. Do you want to start a war?
It looks like you've already trapped yourself.
You're correct. I think I might have overestimated my climbing skills. I'm lucky this ledge was here, otherwise I could have fallen the rest of the way.
Take you prisoner? It never entered my mind.
Whew. Thank you, sir. I'd appreciate any help you could give me.
How'd you get down there?
It's a long story. If you help me out, I'll tell you.
How far is the drop? It looks pretty deep.
It's the deepest thing in the whole world. Very, very deep. Deeper than you can imagine. There's no way in except straight down, and it goes all the way down to the ground.
Didn't make it very far before you turned back, did you?
I thought I could make it. I had myself talked into it, but when I began the descent, I realized how difficult, no, impossible the climb was. I slipped and fell onto this ledge and couldn't climb back up. So I'm stuck here.
I'll give it some thought. Don't go anywhere.
Very well. I guess I'll wait here. Thank you, sir, for coming to my aid. I would have made it out eventually by myself, but your help sped things up quite a bit. I am at your service, sir. Anything I can do for you, I will.
So, why did you climb down there? Not the smartest thing in the world to do.
I know. It's a long story. I was searching for the staff. I figured that I wanted it more than anyone who had gone before me. It turns out that I had much more enthusiasm than ability.
Enthusiasm won't help you climb down a tree that is many miles high.
I found that out. My father forbade me to go after the staff. Too many of my ancestors entered the maw and never returned. I guess he knew what he was talking about.
Staff? What staff?
I guess everyone isn't familiar with the legend. I'll tell it to you. Ages and ages ago, the gods gave 3 items to the races. To the dwarves, they gave a golden hammer. To the humans, they gave a golden sword. They gave us a golden staff. The items were supposed to symbolize the race's roles in a new, unified society. The dwarves were to be the workers, the builders. That's what the hammer represented. The humans were supposed to be the protectors, hence the sword. We elves were the scholars, the leaders, of course. I guess it didn't quite work out that way. After one of the ancient wars with the humans, my ancestor rebelled against the symbolism of the staff. He cursed the idea of living and working with the other races. So he took the staff and cast it into the maw, never to be seen again. He did it in the heat of anger, and soon regretted it. The staff represented more than the ancient legends. It was also a symbol of leadership. Without it, he chanced losing his power. So my ancestor climbed down into the maw to reclaim the staff. He never returned. Since then, members of the royal family have sought the staff. Every few generations, an elf will climb down into the maw, but not one has ever made it back. We don't even know what's at the bottom. We only know that there is solid ground, and the only way in is straight down. We call it the maw because it swallows up anything that enters it.
How could anything be worth risking your life like that?
Naturally, I wanted to regain the staff for my people. My father would be so proud of me. They would write songs about me. I would have done what all of my ancestors failed to do. Don't you think that's enough?
Of course. Why else would you have done it?
I'll tell you why. He wants to impress his girlfriend, that human. Isn't that right?
I guess there is someone that I kind of like, and she does happen to be human.
Who is this girl?
She's beautiful. She's a hunter, she's a musician, she's a leader, she's everything I ever wanted. And not only is she human, but she's a princess as well. And she doesn't even know I exist. Now without the staff, I'll never get a chance.
A human? Won't your father be a bit angry with your choice?
I don't care. At least she's royalty. My father will learn to accept it. He has to.
How would possessing the staff help you to get this girl?
The humans believe that the items from the gods are symbols of rulership. Every human leader since the beginning has carried the golden sword. The current monarch, the princess's father, has been ill for some time. While he's incapacitated, she has accepted the responsibility of rulership. With it, she has taken the sword. She takes her station very seriously, and she'll only consider a suitor of equal status. Because the humans equate rulership with the possession of the godly items, she won't even look in my direction if I don't have the staff.
Where did you meet her?
I met her at one of our gatherings. Lately, she's been coming to hear the wizard speak. I think she's interested in his message of racial harmony. In fact, she'll be coming to a meeting tonight. I was hoping to have the staff by then. Oh well.
That's all there is to it? You get the staff, and it gets you the girl?
Well, not quite. I have to earn her respect, and I'll never get it without the staff. After that, I'm not sure what to do. I think I have to soften her up somehow. Maybe I need something pretty to give her. Even if I do get in her good graces, I won't know what to say. I always get tongue-tied whenever I talk to her. I just don't know the right words. I think if I had something nice to give her and the right words to say, I'd have a chance.
Let me get this straight. You need the staff, the right words, and a pretty present? Sounds like you've been thinking about this for quite a while.
Forever. I decided that if I couldn't have her, I didn't want to go on living. That's why I tried to get the staff. If I didn't make it, I'd be out of my misery.
Enough about this girl.
All right.
Let's talk about something else.
Certainly.
What is this place?
This is the maw. Called that because anything that goes in gets swallowed up. It's a sheer drop, ringed by trees on all sides. The only way to the bottom is straight down. It's an evil place. I'll never go near it again.
You're at my service, eh?
Yes, sir. I'll do anything within reason. Answer any questions you may have. You look new to this land. I'll be glad to help you out.
You're the Prince of the Elves?
Yes, I am heir to the throne. My father is the ruler of all elves on Prian. If he knew what I had done, I'd never see the light of outdoors again.
Do you know anything about a big, ancient building? It has a door with 3 symbols on it.
An ancient building. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Perhaps the wizard can help you. He's been around forever.
Have you met this human wizard who supposedly talks to children?
Of course. His name is Zifnab. He's a human, but he's the strangest human I've ever met. Though admittedly, I haven't met all that many. He resembles you somewhat, but in place of your black hair with white tips, he has white hair with black tips. Do you know him?
I'm not sure. Tell me more about him.
He stays out of sight most of the time and only shows up when we have scheduled a meeting. He also makes sure to keep out of the way of adults. They'll keep him away from us, he claims. Would you do that? Keep him away from us?
Of course not. He sounds harmless enough.
Whew, I'm so glad. I would really like you to meet him. He does the most spectacular tricks. Even when we don't understand half of what he says, he's always entertaining. If you'd like, I can lead you to the meeting place. There's a gathering tonight.
Wait a second. I have a few more questions for you.
Certainly.
Very well. Let's be off. I'll accompany you to this gathering of yours.
Very good. The meeting should be fun, even though I didn't get the staff. Please follow me.
He's just upset because his girlfriend is coming and he didn't get the golden staff to impress her.
Don't worry, it's dead. Not a live bug in it. Lucky for us.
You don't know the half of it. My cousin tried to light one up when live bugs were still using it. You should have seen him afterward. He almost died.
Well, it's better than carting around a bunch of wood. These hives burn better than anything I've ever seen, and they're much lighter. Besides, I've kept my eye on this one for the last week. It's as dead gets.
Hello, good sir.
So this princess is the girl you're crazy about, huh?
Oh, yes, that's her. I'd give anything just to have a simple conversation with her. On the few occasions she actually listens to me, I stumble over my words until I'm flat on my face. She just gives me that frown of hers and looks away. I'll never get her to take me seriously.
Do you think your girl would give me her sword if I ask her nicely?
Give you her sword? Never! It's her most valuable possession. She'd die before she gave it to anyone.
Well then, do you think she'd do me a favor if I asked her?
I can't say, but I've never seen her be nice to anyone she didn't know well. If she liked me better, I'd be happy to ask her for you. Maybe someday.
What exactly do you need to court this princess?
First, I need the golden staff of rulership.
Tell me about this staff.
I've already told you almost everything I know about it, though I know that I'll never again go into the mall after it. Once was enough, and usually more than enough because you're not around to talk about it afterwards.
Tell me about this pretty thing.
I don't know. I need something nice, something pretty, something that girls like. There must be something like that around here somewhere.
Tell me about the right words.
I have trouble enough speaking to her without trying to sound romantic. I know that if I try, I'll end up stumbling all over myself. I need a script of some sort.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you try roses are red, violets are blue, you're real nice, and I'm stuck on you.
Even I could come up with something better than that.
How long does the gathering go on?
For quite a while. Zifnab sometimes leaves and returns a few times in an evening. We use his comings and goings as an excuse to socialize and play games. We only leave if we start to get really tired.
When is Zifnab going to show up?
Who knows? Zifnab is anything but predictable. He will be here sometime today, but when exactly is anybody's guess.
What is that thing in the fire?
That's the hive of some nasty stinging bugs we have around here. It's completely deserted. Otherwise, we'd be up to our necks in angry flying insects. They don't take well to their homes being lit on fire.
Thanks, Prince. I'll speak with you later.
Sure, I'm not going anywhere.
Even though you look to be human, I don't know you, and I don't speak to people I don't know.
Thank you very much. I still need the golden staff of rulership. She'll only regard me as an equal if I hold it. But even if I gain her respect with the staff, there's no guarantee she'll like me very much unless I can give her something nice, something as pretty as she is. I'm lucky that you gave me this book of love poems. If I ever get that far, at least I'll know what to say. I can't see how this would help me woo the princess. Thank you anyway, though. I can't... I can't...
Whoops! Welcome, my little friends. It's time for the Ziffnab Show. I hope you're all comfortable. I seem to be without my beautiful assistant. Always liked her outfits, although I couldn't figure out how she kept from catching cold. Well, we'll have to make do without her. I hope you've all been thinking over what we talked about last time. I know you're just dying to philosophize about racial harmony.
Magic, 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 magic.
Hold on there.
Magic, magic, magic.
Whoa! Yes, I know that the races living in conflict is very tragic. That's why we're going to talk about it.
No, we want to see some magic.
Oh, magic! You want to see magic? Let's see. Any of you have a $50 bill? No? How about 100? Put that coin away, son. This trick only works with the high denominations. Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. Where'd the rabbit go to? I could have sworn I had a rabbit in my hat. Maybe it was bats in my belfry. Well, let me try a real showstopper. What was that spell? It always gets everyone's attention. Feather fall? No, something else. Direfall. Fireball? Firehole? Wait, it'll come to me. Is that a new little friend I see back there? Come on up here. Every new friend gets to grab a handful of pennies from the jar. My, you're a tall bugger, aren't you? Wait a moment, you're not a child. In fact, you're not even from Prian. You're a patron.
Even though you look to be human,
Hello, good sir.
Where did he go?
Where did who go?
That flaming Sartan. You know, Ziffnab.
Oh, Ziffnab. I'm not sure. Sometimes he just gets so flustered that he leaves through the disc. Seeing you sure made him flustered for some reason. We'll all wait around for a while to see if he comes back. It's usually worth it if he does.
What exactly do you need to court this princess?
First, I need the golden staff of rulership.
Thanks, Prince.
Sure.
Hello, patron. Before you do anything rash, I must inform you that we are both under the watchful eye of my pet dragon. Wake up, you stupid dragon! I've got a boogie at 12 o'clock! Unfriendly fire! Traitor in our midst! Whenever I really need him, does he help out? No, he sleeps. It's enough to make someone go out and get a cat. Well, since you're already in my home, I might as well be hospitable. Coffee, tea, a push off of the branch?
Who are you?
I'm Cortex, the thinking machine. No, wait a second, that's not it. I knew a moment ago. Ooh, that's right. I'm James Bond, Agent 007. I've got a license to kill, so you'd better keep your distance. Somewhere I have a lighter that can obliterate half a continent. Either that or take your picture.
No, you're not. You're Zifnab, the children told me.
Haha, that's just my cover. You a fool, huh? Can't blame you. I'm the best in the business.
Quit fooling around. I know you're Zifnab. Although what kind of name Zifnab is, I'm not sure.
Oh yeah? Well, what kind of name is Haplo?
How'd you know my name is Haplo?
Your name is Haplo? Glad to meet you. I'm Zifnab.
You didn't answer my question. How'd you know my name is Haplo?
Why, you just told me when you introduced yourself. You'd better start paying attention to the conversation if you're gonna learn anything.
What?
Something wrong with you? I told you! I'm Bond! James Bond! I don't think this boy's playing with a full deck.
Try to keep it together, Sartan. I need some information.
Well, let's see. I have a piece of microfilm lodged in my inner ear from my smuggling days, but I can't really talk about that. How about the weather? Pretty sunny, huh? Actually, talking about the weather isn't quite as interesting when it's always the same.
Why are you talking to the children about racial harmony?
The races have never been closer to tolerating each other, especially the children. If I can impress upon them the importance of peace, they may achieve unification.
You've referred to the unification. What exactly is it?
The unification, that's the racial harmony I've been talking about. When all the races come together and are capable of living with each other, the worlds are key to open their resources to the Mensch, wake up the sleeping Sartan, and ready the realm for the interconnection. Each world set up its own test to determine when the unification occurred. When the Mensch figured out the way into the Citadel, when they worked together to enter it, they will have unified. This was supposed to happen in every realm. After all of them were ready, the council was supposed to complete the sundering by interconnecting the realms. The new society would begin. But it's been so long. Far too long. Something went wrong.
What do you think went wrong with the plan?
We took on too much ourselves. We were gods, and we were infallible. I warned Sama that we should wait. There were alternatives, but he didn't listen. He was full of his dream.
What is this dragon?
He's my pet dragon. I met him shortly after I came to Prian. He took a liking to me, so I decided to adopt him. He told me that he embodies good in the wave. Doesn't make any sense to me. If he's supposed to be the personification of good, then he wouldn't be so lazy.
That dragon is the embodiment of good?
I know. Hard to believe, isn't it? Especially since he didn't just eat you up as soon as you arrived.
Are you implying that I'm evil?
Of course not. Are you inferring that you are evil? That may be important. We might be on the verge of a breakthrough. A few more sessions and we'll be able to make some serious progress on your complex.
What's the wave?
You know, it's when a portion of the audience lifts their arms, followed by another portion, then another, until it completes a full circle around the stadium. No, wait, that's different. The wave is a little harder to explain. Reality is balanced. Good and evil can never be more powerful than each other. When that happens, the wave compensates. The dragon was created a long time ago in response to something else. Something very evil.
Do you know what the evil thing was?
Is, my good man, is. Since my dragon here is still around, you must assume that his evil counterpart is still around as well. I have my theories as to its form, but it's such a depressing subject that I prefer not to talk about it.
Enough. Let's talk about something else.
All right. How about those Steelers? Think they'll go all the way?
Where are the other Sartan?
I don't know. Have you seen them? I figured they'd been hiding from me all this time. Some joke. I turn my back for a couple years, take a little moonlight stroll, and they all go away. Well, it's not funny!
Where do you think they could be hiding?
Well, I left them in the Citadel when I went for a walk. I assumed that they'd be along, but they never came. I haven't seen them since.
I found a group of them on Arianis. They were in crystal coffins.
Of course they were. The unification has yet to take place on Arianis. When it does, the coffins will open and the Sartan will come out to help the Mensch.
No, you don't understand. I did something there and the coffins opened. All of the Sartan were dead.
They're dead? All dead? How did it happen? How could it happen? You did this, patron, didn't you? Somehow your race has struck back and killed us. Admit it!
You're wrong, Zifnab. One of my missions is to find out where the Sartan disappeared to. If the Sartan are dying off, it's not of my doing.
Ah, of course. Your people were imprisoned when this happened. You couldn't have had anything to do with it. There's something else out there.
Why are you here?
I don't know why I'm here exactly. Even though our policy is non-interference when it comes to the unification, I felt I had to help it along. It's been so long and the Mensch have never been so close as they are now.
How long have you been here? Alone?
I'm not alone. I've got my dragon, I've got the children. I don't need more than that. But it seems like a long time since I've seen any of my people. A long time.
Let's talk about something else. You're obviously uncomfortable with this subject.
Suit yourself.
Where is Prian's seal piece?
Ah, the seal piece. Your lord needs it, huh? You know, there are better uses for it than what he intends.
What do you know about my lord?
Oh, nothing. I'm sure he's a wonderful fella. Life of the party kind of guy. Am I right? I'll bet he could show me a card trick or two.
How do you know what my lord intends?
What do patron lords usually intend after they've escaped from thousands of years of imprisonment? You think maybe he wants to conquer the realms, reform the world to enslave the masses? No, nobody's that antisocial.
What uses?
Interested? Well, back in the old days, we had plans for those pieces. Big plans. Plans that make other plans look really small. Really huge plans. And important, woo-wee! You don't get any more important than those plans. That's how we made plans in the old days. Big and important.
Well, what were your plans?
What plans?
Don't try and throw me off track. Where is it?
All right, don't get in a huff. Where did we put that piece? Didn't we build something to put it in? Oh, that's right. It's in the Citadel.
All right, that's a start. What's the Citadel?
That's a pretty open-ended question. The Citadel is a fortress, or it's a city, or it's a power station. Take your pick.
Where is the Citadel?
Oh, it's that way, I think. You should be able to see it from the air in your flying ship. It's really big. Had to be, you know.
How do I get in?
That's a toughie. No one can get in. In fact, it was designed to keep everyone out. I certainly don't think any exceptions were made for angry patrons. Of course, after the unification, anyone could just walk right through the front door.
You mean I'll have to make all of the races get along before I can get that door open?
Well, it's not quite that difficult. We set up a test to detect when the races started to get along. We gave each a symbol. A golden sword to the humans, a golden staff to the elves, and a golden hammer to the dwarves. If a representative from each race places their symbol upon the door to the Citadel at the same time, it will open. The three races must do it together. One man with all the symbols wouldn't be able to open the door.
Where are all of those symbols?
They certainly didn't take quite the care of them that we hoped they would. Only the humans still revere their symbol, but they look on it as a symbol of leadership instead of its actual meaning, the human's role in a new integrated society. Every human leader carries it. It gives them the authority to rule. I believe the current holder is the young princess who occasionally comes to my gatherings. The elves threw their staff into a local pit called the Maw. It's been lost for generations. I don't know how the unification can occur until it is recovered. The dwarves, straight-line practical thinkers that they are, took one look at the hammer, decided that it was the most inferior hammer they'd ever seen, and stuck it deep in their weapons vault. I don't think they even remember that they have it.
Isn't there any other way to get in the Citadel?
Well, let's see. A spell might help you out. Maybe if you blew down a wall or something. There's one spell I remember. What was it? Tie a wall, lie a stall? I can't seem to recall. Oh well, sorry I couldn't help.
Didn't you come from there? How'd you get out?
Getting out is not the same thing as getting in. In fact, they're two entirely different things. Yin and yang, night and day, black hat and white hat.
Tell me more about the Citadel itself.
All right.
How is the Citadel a fortress?
At present, that seems to be the only task that it accomplishes on a regular basis. All of its other functions were intended to come online following the unification. Right now, the Citadel lies dormant. The Titans roam the forest. Everything waits on the unification. That's why I'm trying so hard to convince the children to throw away their prejudices.
Titans? What are they?
The Titans are magical creatures created to operate the Citadel. We built them to last too. Big suckers, maybe 3 times your height, and powerful enough to rip up a small tree. Their appearance is a little unsettling. They don't have any eyes. Don't need them. We gave them enough magic to sense everything around them. In fact, they can sense things miles away when they're motivated enough. When we built this realm, we dumped them into the forest. Until the Citadel powered up, they had nothing to do. I think they went a little crazy. They knew they were supposed to serve the Sartan, and they knew that the Citadel was important, but that's about it. Titans aren't the smartest creatures. Somehow they found a Sartan relic. I think it was a crystal sculpture of some sort. Without purpose in their lives, they fixated on it. To them, I suppose it had religious significance, and to this day, they worship it. Against all of our expectations, the Mensch actually encountered the Titans. Dwarves moved into the area surrounding the Titans' forest. They understandably wandered in. The Titans reacted by defending their relic, and they drove the dwarves off, dragging their wounded behind them. But dwarves are stubborn creatures, and they continue to live just outside of the forest. As long as they stay outside, the Titans leave them alone. The two races live in uneasy peace. The Titans notice nothing besides their artifact, and the dwarves leave it alone. Those dwarves are understandably nervous, living so close to their enemy, so they keep a stock of weapons handy. I don't think they've actually pulled them out for years, but having them available makes them feel more secure.
What exactly is the Titan's purpose? Why'd you make them?
The Citadel is a big place. It needed a lot of workers to keep it running smoothly. Instead of enslaving the Mensch or working the Citadel ourselves, we tailor-made a race to do it for us. We also designed them to protect the Citadel, and ironically, the Mensch as well. Somehow, they've perverted this defensive behavior to focus on the crystal artifact to the exclusion of everything else. Of course, their unnatural interest in this piece of Sartan refuse should disappear when the Citadel is open. The unification will trigger the imprinted behavior that will summon the Titans into the Citadel. They should start it operating, and they'll forget about everything in their previous lives.
What's the Titan's magic sense like?
The Titans had to be given the power to sense the position of objects, even though the objects might be out of sight. This was principally for the operation and repair of the Citadel after it started working. Because they were equipped with this sense, we decided not to give them eyes. They see better than you or I, and they track better than any scout, since they already know the location of something even when they're away from it.
How is the Citadel a city?
We intended the Citadel to house everyone, the humans, the elves, and the dwarves all together. Naturally, this couldn't happen until they learned to live peacefully among each other. So its halls wait, empty and dead, for the unification.
How is the Citadel a power station?
Prian has a role in the whole. Following the interconnection, Prian was to supply power to the other realms. Its 4 suns produce more than enough energy for itself and the other worlds. The Citadel was supposed to control the flow of energy from the suns through the DeathGate into the other worlds.
How about we talk about something else?
Suit yourself.
Give me one good reason why I shouldn't blow you away.
If you so much as look at me wrong, my dragon will find out what you're made of and decorate the tree with it.
Where'd you get these transporter discs?
They're just something I picked up. Rather handy, don't you think? I had to plant the white one in the ground to keep the children from wandering off with it. I wouldn't want to appear in the middle of the campfire. If I didn't have them, I'd have to rely on my pet dragon to take me everywhere, and getting him out of bed could blow a whole day. As far as I know, there's no other way back to the nearest tree.
I have had enough. Goodbye, Sartan.
Well, I can't say I'm sorry to see you go, Haplo. But take care. You have many trials ahead of you. The fate of the world rests on your shoulders.
I've no time for you and your foolishness. You're no...
Thank you very much. I still need the golden staff of rulership. She'll only regard me as an equal if I'm holding it. After I've gained her respect with it, I can woo her with these flowers and book of love poems that you gave to me. All I need is the staff, but that's probably the hardest thing to get.
I never let this sword out of my possession. It represents my authority.
This isn't very fun. You can keep it.
I've no...
You're welcome to take that disc. I can always get my dragon to ferry me back and forth, but unless I miss my guess, you don't have...
Hello, good.
Thanks, Prince.
Sure.
Even though you...
I can't see how this...
This isn't very fun.
That's very impressive, but the golden staff really belongs in the hand.
It worked! All of it! She has agreed to consider my courtship, and I owe it all to you, my friend, more than I can ever repay. But I will try. I know that you have a quest here, but I know not what it is. I will accompany and help you as I can, and perhaps I can give you some fraction of the happiness you have given me.
Greetings. My prince explained that you are a friend of his and that you helped bring us together. For that, I am indebted to you.
My role in your romance was nothing, dear princess.
On the contrary, it means everything to me. I am not blind to what the consequences of our union could mean to our races as well. It could unite our peoples. This could usher in a new age of peace. You are largely responsible for that.
The prince is a sweet guy, isn't he?
He's very sweet. A little naive, but all the more adorable because of it. I never really thought of elves that way, but he changed my mind.
What do you think your father is going to say about your union?
I don't think he's ever considered the idea, but he has a lot of respect for the elves. After a little grumbling, I think he'll be happy for me.
Tell me a little about your people.
I thought you were human, but I guess you're not. Otherwise, my people would be your people. We're nomadic. We live all over Prion following the game we hunt. It might appear to the other races that we're rather loosely organized, but that's not true. My father leads us wisely with the council of the people. We have thrived for generations. Our lives are hard, though, and sometimes dangerous. The appeal of the elves' safe and stable society affects many of us. For some, it's too much to resist. They come to the elves as refugees and beg for whatever work is available. I think my people want to settle down. They follow my father out of loyalty, but they're ready to change the way they live. Even I wouldn't mind some stability.
Are you ill? It sounds like you've got a cough.
I do have a slight cough, but it's nothing. I caught a chill and a downpour a little while ago. I'll get over it eventually. Just now, it's not that bad.
That's a nice flute you've got there.
Thank you. It was given to me by my warder. He's the one who trained me to hunt and track, but he also taught me to play this flute. He is one of the only people I know who still remembers how to play the old written music. There isn't much of it left, but he collected some of the ancient sheets and kept them safe. I was honored to learn the skill from him.
Would you mind doing me a favor?
A favor? Certainly. What is it?
Can you play a quick tune on that flute?
Certainly. I'm sorry. This cough keeps me from playing for any length of time.
Would you mind doing me a favor?
A favor?
Could you take a look at this book? It has some written music in it. I'd like to know if you could play it.
This is incredible! It's music from the ancients! What an amazing find! Would you like me to play it?
Yes, start playing it now if you would.
Very well. Just tell me when to stop.
You can stop playing now.
Greetings!
Would you mind doing me a favor?
A favor?
Could you scratch my back right here? Would you mind doing me a favor?
A favor?
I was wondering if you'd accompany me somewhere. I need you to use your golden sword for a task.
Of course I'll help you. I can't imagine what task would require my golden sword. It's not much of a weapon, it's a symbol of leadership. But I'll be happy to accompany you.
Yes, my friend.
Do you know anything about the dwarves?
I've never actually seen a dwarf, but my father has. As king, he's spoken with their representatives on a few occasions. They tend to keep to themselves most of the time. They remain carefully neutral in any conflicts we have with the humans, and they're incredibly stubborn. No amount of persuasion will make them take sides. All in all, we usually leave them alone, and they do the same.
Do you know anything about the Citadel?
I'm afraid I've only heard that it exists, but I don't know anything about it. I'm sorry.
Huh. You're kind of scrawny for your age, aren't you?
I'm not scrawny. Elves are just naturally thinner than humans, and I'm still kind of young. When I'm full grown, I'll be taller than you.
Nothing right now, but stick with me.
Sure. Being this near to the princess really gets my blood boiling.
I've no...
If it isn't my favorite
I have had enough. Goodbye, Sartan.
Well, I can't say I'm sorry to see.
Greeting.
Would you mind?
A favor?
Nothing right now.
All right.
Thanks, Princess.
Sure.
Yes, my...
Nothing.
Sure.
Greet.
Would you mind?
A favor?
Could you start?
Very well.
You've got to get out of here! There are giants everywhere! They're hiding in the trees just waiting for someone to walk into their forest so they can grab them, throw them against a very uncomfortable tree, and tie them up with vines. Leave before it's too late!
Greet.
Would you mind?
A favor?
Could you start?
Very. Greetings.
Would you...
A fate?
Could you...
Very well. I don't really have any use for that.
I appreciate your offering me a present to cheer me up, but I'd really prefer it if you just did something to free me. I appreciate your offering me a...
Greetings.
Would you mind doing...
A fate?
Could you start...
Very well.
Why did you rescue me?
Because you were in trouble. Everyone should help out those in need.
Wow, you really helped me just because I needed help? That's so nice. I don't believe it. It's a custom among my people to give a favor in return for one, especially one as significant as saving a life. All you have to do is ask.
That's fine, but could I talk with you a while before I ask for anything?
Of course. What do you want to talk about?
Can you tell me anything about that building to the south?
Sure. It's the great shining city. No one ever enters and no one ever leaves. The front doors are closed and nothing can open them. We've even tried tunneling in. We just bounced off the floor. It's made of something we've never encountered before.
How did you get captured?
I wandered into the forest of giants when I shouldn't have. I just wanted to see them. Everyone told me that they were actually bigger than humans. I didn't believe it until they jumped out of the trees and grabbed me. The giants don't bother anyone unless you go into their forest. They're pretty touchy about that. I'm just lucky they tied me up instead of stepping on me.
Tell me what you know about these giants.
Many generations ago, my ancestors dug their tunnels here. When they emerged from the ground to have a look around, they encountered the giants. They weren't friendly and definitely not especially happy to meet us. Mayhem broke out. The dwarves weren't used to war, but they were quick studies. They forged weapons and battled the giants for years. One day, the giants suddenly stopped fighting. They drew back into the forest and remained there. As long as we stayed out, they left us alone. We keep the store of weapons in a vault, though, ready just in case the giants change their minds and attack. We also have an interesting legend about the giants.
Tell me the legend of these giants.
According to legend, the giants are the children of the Shining City. They lived inside it and were very happy, but they always wondered what lay outside of the city's walls. One day they snuck out. The city discovered them missing. It was furious that its children had left it, so as punishment it took away their eyes and closed its doors, leaving them outside. The Shining City became dark in its sorrow. The giants moved into the forest nearby. They hoped that one day the city would reopen its doors and let them in. The only memory of their time inside was a gem that one of them had brought with them. They cherished that memory and guarded it jealously. One day the city's heart grew lonely. It decided to forgive its errant children and invite them to return, so it began to shine again. If the giants had seen it, they would have rushed home. But the city had taken their eyes and they couldn't see the beckoning light. So they remain inside the forest, waiting for a call that came long ago, and the city waits for its children who will never return. We dwarves believe that if only we could lead the giants back to the city, they would go in and leave the forest to us. We know that they are guarding the gem at the center of the forest. A few brave dwarves have entered the forest in hopes of stealing the gem and bringing it to the Shining City. The giants would follow the gem, and when they came upon the city, it would open its doors to them and they would go back home.
What do you know about the gem?
Supposedly, it's huge and crystal and has strange writings on it. Actually, it's not supposed to be all that valuable. crystal's not worth much. You'd figure that something they guarded so fiercely would be worth more.
Has anyone ever been able to take the gem?
A long time ago, a dwarf named Lungput the Swift ventured into the forest. Somehow he made it to the center, into a clearing, and there, lying on the ground, he discovered the gem. He grabbed it and bolted for the city. Well, the giants followed him all right, but they caught him before he got anywhere near the city. He tried hiding behind trees and rocks anywhere out of sight, but the giants homed in on him as if he were a beacon. They took back their gem and squished poor Lungput. Since then, no one's ever come back out of the forest once they went in.
How far did you make it inside? Did you actually see the gem?
No, I never got anywhere near it. I didn't even mean to go as far as I did. One step inside the forest was enough for these big bullies. They grabbed me and tied me up. Didn't even say a word.
Do they normally squash intruders?
That's what the elders say, and no one's ever said differently. I thought maybe they were exaggerating just to keep us out of the forest, but maybe not. At least they only tied me up.
Are you sure you didn't get stepped on? You're pretty short.
One of these days, gravity is going to realize that people shouldn't have legs that long. Then you'll be sorry.
Enough about these giants.
All right, what else do you want to know?
Do you know anything about a golden hammer?
A golden hammer? I'm not sure. Wait, I think there's a golden hammer in the weapons vault. A few years ago, there was a false alarm. We thought that the Titans were attacking, so the elders ordered that the vault be opened. Everyone took up weapons and headed towards the forest. At that point, we realized we had been tricked. Some child got his rear tanned, and everyone went to replace their weapons. I was one of the first in the vault, and I noticed a golden hammer shoved way in the back. No one had taken it. I looked at it to find out why. The weight was all wrong, and I determined that it was actually forged of gold. Can you believe it? A soft metal like gold? One strong blow and the thing would flatten. I don't understand why anyone ever made such a useless weapon.
Do you think you could get it for me? That could be my favor.
I don't think so. The only time the vault is open is in response to an attack by the giants. They never make exceptions. In fact, ever since the false alarm, they are more careful than ever to verify that the attack is genuine. They don't want dwarves harming themselves or others, either by accident or deliberately, by using these weapons. Some of them are very dangerous.
Is there any other way into the vault?
Absolutely not. Dwarves are masters at tunneling. We made the vault impossible to tunnel into by lining it with fire-hardened metals. There's no way in unless it is opened.
Maybe the hammer wasn't meant to be used as a weapon.
Why would someone forge a hammer unless it was meant to be used? That doesn't make any sense.
Could you go ask the elders if they'd make an exception? No one seems to want the hammer anyway.
I could ask, but I already know the answer. Nothing is going to open that vault except an attack from the giants, and I really hope that doesn't happen in my lifetime. I'll go, though. Wait here. I'll be back soon. It's just as I thought. The elders agree that I should fulfill my obligation, but they cannot open the vault unless we are at war. Have you thought of anything else you want?
Do the elders have any ideas?
No, they're still getting over the idea that I owe a favor to a human.
I don't know about anything else. Perhaps we should talk a bit more.
Fine with...
Where do you live?
Why, right here. Well, under here, anyhow. We dwarves prefer to live underground. We have a network of tunnels that run for miles in all directions.
Let me introduce you to my companions.
That's a nasty cough you've got there, Princess. But I know a surefire remedy. It only requires 4 ingredients, and I've got one of them with me. Let's see. You'll need some dead man's friend, the meat from a zuzu nut, the roots of the plith plant, and the dried herbs that I carry.
What the heck is Dead Man's Friend?
It's a fungus, a toadstool that tends to grow under carrion, dead bodies. That's why it's known as Dead Man's Friend.
Can you tell me about the zuzu nut?
The nut is named after the zuzu, a shy animal that survives on a diet of just the meat of the nut. It's considered a delicacy, and it's very hard to come by. The nut's shell is incredibly thick. It's almost impossible to open. The zuzu has to be very strong just to crack them. I think you'll find a grove of the nuts off to the west. Good luck in getting at the meat.
Where am I going to find a plith plant?
They're not rare. You should be able to find them anywhere. The plith have pink flowers. If you see those, just pull up the whole plant. You should get the roots along with everything else.
Can I have those herbs?
Sure. I've got them here somewhere.
What are you supposed to do with all of these things?
Just feed them to her. It all ends up in the same place. After she's eaten them all, she should have shaken off that nasty cough.
You think that this favor would make us even?
You think a simple cough remedy is worth my life? I owe you far more than that. You keep thinking about what you need. This is just being friendly.
Can we talk about some other things?
Sure.
Could we go back to the subject of the golden hammer again?
What do you need to know about it?
This is getting us nowhere. The only thing I need is the golden hammer. Could you go try again to get it?
Nothing's going to change. But if it will make you happy, I'll go back in and rack my brains. I'll try everything, and I won't come back out until I've got it. Don't get your hopes up.
Very well. If you do somehow get the hammer, meet me at the Shining City. I need you to do something with it there.
If it isn't my favorite patron in all of Priam, what?
I have had it.
Well,
Greet.
Thanks, Prince.
Sure.
Yes, my...
Nothing.
Sure.
I've no time for you and your...
Greeting.
Would you mind doing...
A fa...
Could you...
Very well. I don't really have any... Greeting.
Would you mind doing...
A favor?
Could you start...
Very well.
Yes, my...
Could you climb the tree and get that crystal?
All right, I'll be back in a moment.
They're coming and they'll be here before you know it. The flute's no good anymore. When they find us with the relic, they'll tear us apart.
The relic! That's what they're really after! We've got to get rid of it! Yes?
Nothing right now.
Sure.
Greeting.
Would you...
A fa-
Could you start...
Very well.
I was standing there in the tunnels arguing with an elder about opening up the vault when the crystal gem dropped from above right on the elder's head. Before I could even laugh, I heard the pounding of the giants trying to get inside the tunnel. The elder went crazy. He sounded the alarm and opened the vault right then and there. I grabbed both the crystal gem and the golden hammer and took a back tunnel here. I guessed that I could get rid of my obligation to you and lead the giants back to their home. Here's the hammer you wanted. I'm glad to have been able to repay you. Now all we have to do is wait for the giants to come home. They'll arrive, the doors will open, and everyone will be happy. I hope.
There's room enough for all of the races here. If we could live together, we could do it better than ever.
Hello, my boy! I knew you could do it! They put their symbols into the face of a mysterious building without even knowing why. Quite an achievement if you ask me. That shows leadership qualities. You've inspired loyalty in these children. They trust you. Does your heart good to see them together, doesn't it? Too bad it's only for a little while, It's a good thing they don't know that you're just scouting for your lord. That soon he will destroy these children's lives for his dreams of conquest. That would just ruin their day. Better keep this between you and me if you know what I mean. Don't worry, Haplo. I won't interfere in your mission. In fact, I have a present for you. I tried to take up a collection around the office, but no one there seems to like you very much. I wasn't going to say anything, but they all think you're on the side of evil. That doesn't make you very popular. Most of their ideas of a going-away present took the form of a punch in the mouth. I stuck up for you, though. He's not a mindless puppet, I said. He has very good reasons for wanting to destroy everything. I'm sure he's thought this whole thing through. They seemed a little doubtful, but I know my old buddy Haplo. You'll come through in the end. Anyway, since no one chipped in, I got you this. It's a genuine 100% natural, roughly spherical, all-purpose evil combating device. Really? I know you're thinking, Zifnab, how can this obviously rare and well-crafted document holder also combat evil? Well, fear not. This particular paperweight is magic. That's right. As the stone approaches true evil, it will glow. Soon, you will encounter an evil greater than any you've ever known, even in the labyrinth. And it has magic. Horrible, powerful, destructive. Much different than the magic that we command. The rock will react to this magic. The closer you get, the brighter it will glow. When you are in its very presence, crush the rock. You'll know the right time.
What will happen when I crush it?
I don't know, but I'm sure that it will be impressive. And just in case it doesn't work, use the backup plan. Hurl that sucker. I find that a nice solid puck upside the head always slows evil down. Now you're thinking, how can he afford to give this away? Well, that's very astute of you, Haplo. I can't afford it. Of course, I'm taking a loss on this transaction, but when your friends start asking you, where'd you get that great evil combater? You tell them you got it from old Zifnab, and soon they're telling their friends, and they're telling their friends. Eventually, everyone has a Zifnab special. Take Prion Seal Piece, Haplo. Go back to your lord. But remember what you've seen here. Remember these people. Consider carefully exactly what you are doing and why.
Excellent, my son. You exceed even my best expectations. Not only did you recover Priam's seal piece, But you have discovered a living Sartan. I doubt that he is alone, as he claims, and the addition of these Titans to his forces means that he is someone to be reckoned with. I will have to adjust my plans to compensate. We might have to destroy this citadel to be sure of the giant's destruction. It is a shame you couldn't bring Zifnab back with you for further questioning. You have the crystal fragment of the world's seal. Use that to place the naming rune of Abarak upon your steering stone, and then leave as soon as you can. Events are occurring at a fast pace. If even one Sartan knows you exist, we must assume they all do. But we need information. I must know what the other realms are like, where the Sartan's forces are, and what they number. And I need those seal pieces. Good luck, my son.
Zifnab seemed mad, but he genuinely cared about the mensch there. He had a plan to make their lives better.
Who knows how far gone that Sartan was? Living in solitude with those mensch would have driven anyone insane. No wonder he was obsessed with them. Hopefully, when the world is reformed and we destroy the citadel, he'll disappear along with it.
What about Zifnab's dragon? Do you consider him a threat?
If I believed in him, I would. Don't take this personally, my son, but dragons are fairy tales, legends, nothing more. This Zifnab played on your gullibility. I've read that the Sartan used to command the art of illusion. He must have created the dragon for your benefit, to keep you from killing him. It worked, didn't it?
If you destroy the citadel, won't that kill the mensch that have moved inside?
Are you questioning my tactics? Don't you understand that the threat represented by the Titans far outweighs the importance of the lives of a few mensch? Don't get personally involved with them, Haplo. This is war. There are always sacrifices.
Can we talk about some of the subjects you touched on earlier?
Of course. What do you want to know?
Let's go back to some other topic.
Of course. What do you want to know?
That's enough for right now. I'd like to talk to you later if you don't mind.
Very well. I'll be here.